Hey Emmanuel, what's up, man? Dude, I saw you put out this sleeve design, so I thought I'd lay some feedback on it. So, a couple things, dude. I'm gonna give you like three kind of main tips. So, first being that every part of the body flows in a natural S curve. And what I mean by that is I sent this out in a previous email. I'm not sure if you would have got it or not. But when you look at the muscle structure of people, it always kind of flows in this kind of S shape. If you look at this tattoo here, the reason why it works and it looks good is it just rolls with the arm, it rolls with the shape of the body. And when you design a tattoo with that in mind, the tattoo will always look a lot better. Even if it's not tattooed perfectly, the design will improve tenfold. So from now on, whenever you design a tattoo, make sure that you put in those flow lines before you do it, and then that way your tattoos are going to flow with the body a lot more, and everything's just kind of get better. Also, when you're drawing a sleeve design, I mean, you've got no reference for size. Like by drawing it like this, you're kind of just guessing. It's just like, oh, I think this will fit on an arm. It's not what I'd recommend, dude. When you design, especially man, you've got an iPad, so it's even easier for you. Whenever you're designing any tattoo, right? Get a photo of the body part that it's going to go on, and then draw over the top of that. And then that way, the tattoo will fit that shape of the body perfectly, and you're not going to get weird bits of the tattoo wrapping around the sides and kind of just not looking the greatest. This is really easy to do from iPad, man. If you just Google, chest or bicep, there's tons of them in Google Images, man, and it will your tattoos will be a lot tighter, and they'll fit the part of the body that they're meant to go on, man. So they'll look a lot more like actual tattoos, because most tattoos are kind of long and skinny, except for like the torso and things like that. But yeah, all the limbs are kind of like cylinders in the human body, right? So yeah, flow lines draw over the shape of the human body. And my next tip would be, man, sleeves are a big deal, right? And if you're just kind of figuring out, the sort of the fundamentals, I wouldn't recommend taking on a sleeve just yet. It's just too soon, and there's too much stuff that can go wrong. While you're figuring out, design and tattooing, I'd highly recommend sticking to tattoos that are kind of no bigger than the size of the palm of your hand. Um, I sent an email about this a little while ago as well. Is that in tattooing, you don't kind of improve based on the amount of hours that you've put in. You improve based on the amount of tattoos that you do, right? So if you spend 12 hours doing a big tattoo, you can learn the same amount doing, a tattoo that only takes 2 hours. But you can do a lot more of those smaller tattoos, and you'll progress faster over time. And also, when you've been kind of been drawing tattoos for a while, and you've got the fundamentals down, you'll just sort of develop a solid style. Whereas this, it's kind of hard to identify what kind of style that it is. It's kind of like Neotrad, but the leaves are not really like Neotrad, and then the mountains are almost like minimalist kind of style, and then you've kind of got the straight lines here. It sort of throws it a bit off. Whereas you really want to. I mean, when you're drawing small stuff and you're figuring out the fundamentals, you kind of want to find what you like, what you want to specialize in, and then hone in on that and get really good at it by drawing it every day. And then, as your art style kind of matures and you progress more, that's when you want to start doing, the bigger stuff, the sleeves, that kind of thing. And then, like, when you look at a tattoo, like this, it's really obvious kind of what style that is. Like, the artwork's really mature. But I guarantee this dude wasn't doing, back jobs in his first year. It takes a little bit of time, to kind of build up to that. And yeah, man, like I'm not trying to discourage you or anything. Like, you're definitely going to get there, 100%. But just in the beginning, while you're figuring out the fundamentals, man, highly would advise sticking to small tattoos and figuring out your style before you start to take on bigger and bigger projects, man. But yeah, dude, I hope those tips help. If you've got any questions about any of the stuff I've just said, man, hit me up and I'll be happy to help. Talk soon, brother.